Yeah, I saw that Man City game and I kind of like bother a little bit because before the game or before the season started, I thought that in the last two windows, the January window and this window, Man City have done quite a bit of good business. So I was sitting, saying that okay, because almost everybody's saying with Arsenal spending what they spend, now they've made seven signings this window, so the expectation is that Arsenal is supposed to win the league. And in my own way of doing analysis, before I boldly beat my chest and say this team will win the league, I first off have to look at the teams that would compete with them, that would give them problem, that would challenge them. And when I look at that City game, and we could make a lot of cases an argument and say things like, "Oh, City always lose to Spurs in the last couple of seasons." Spurs has been their boogie team, but then I saw them beat Wolves 4-0, and I thought, okay, this team is good. The new players, Reinders, Cherky, and then add that to the Norwegian tour. Talking about Haaland, I thought that was a team that was ready to go on a run. But then I saw them against Spurs, and I was watching that game to analyze City, but eventually I noticed something about Spurs. Spurs have been keeping a high line forever, so that's their major strength. But what I saw with what Frank Thomas have done with this Spurs is the fact that they work four times harder than they used to work. I'm not trying to rein in on Ange Postecoglou here because I do know that the kind of injury that Spurs suffered last season, any other team would struggle. So this is not me raining on them. As an Arsenal fan, I'm not supposed to like them, but I think that Spurs should be one team to look at for, not just because they've won back to back, but for almost every team in the Premier League who like to play from the back. Watch out for Spurs because they press you to a point where you are not able to even come out of the back, and then they run three, four times more than the opposition. Maybe when we check their speed map, eventually statistics, you would understand what I'm saying. But I'll say, watch out for Spurs. That's one team that we all should be worried about in this season's race for the title. The only thing that can make it easy is the fact that they don't have a big squad. So when injuries come, they might not be able to sustain it. But watch out for Spurs. Watch out for Spurs. Spurs is not a team to sleep over. Spurs is not a team you're planning to play against and you kind of realize like it's the old Spurs. I'm not supposed to be praising Spurs, but that team that I saw yesterday,